Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're doing issue 56 of our tumbler build. Let's get going. Okay, so we're going to be working, this is the box, we're going to be working on the nose cone of our tumbler. There's a few little bits to go on it, so we do need the front of our car right here, and yeah, so we're going to be working on the front nose cone on this issue. So let's get going. Okay, here we are at the front of the car. We've got our parts here. We've got some screws, we've got KP and UP. I just realised what I just said there. UP? It says UP. Okay, so we've got some pistons here. We've got one's longer, one's shorter, and we've got these ones here which are going to go into here. Let me just take a little look, see where we how all this comes together. Okay, lovely. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab these sections here and we're going to screw these together using a UP screw. So we've got two of these, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done that. So this one is the right hand side. So we're going to push this into this piston here, the silver piston section. Just there. I'm just going to try and push this in. And then we're going to push it into the two holes that are just sort of at the sides there. I'm going to go and do it on both sides and then show you the end result. Okay, so as you can see, it sort of pushes in here and goes along this piston section just here, and it just pushes at the side. We've done it on the other side as well, as you can see, right here. Okay, so I've changed the camera angle. I'm using the smaller one here. Okay, so we've got a large and a small, and so these are going to sit like that, and then it's trying to get it in the right angle here. So it's going to go onto this, the smaller one, the smaller piston is going to go onto this screw mark just here, the one closest to the bulkhead, and then it's going to screw into this first hole on there. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so you can see that there. We're then going to take a longer one, and once again we're going to make sure, I'm going to try and film this one just to show you. So you want it upside down because it's slightly sloped. I don't know if you can make that out. It's it goes in sort of a Pacific way, so like so. And then this one, there is 4 little holes here, so we've got one at the end here. The other one is just like the sort of second one down from that. So I would say it's like a middle one or something, but you need to push it in just like this. And that is it. It's fairly easy to do. So the smaller one goes further to the bulkhead and the longer one's further away, and they sort of sit in like that, as you can see. So we've got a screw, a hole, a screw, and then a hole. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead, do the other side, and then show you the end result. Okay, and we've done that. I can bring it up and show you. So that's what it now looks like. So we've added the last little bits to the nose cone. So obviously we've had the pistons, and we've had a piston put down there on each side. So that now completes our nose cone. Now I have just noticed that this has popped off as I've been building stuff. So let me put that back. There we go. There we go. So that looks really well now. I'm very, very happy with the front of this. It looks well. Once again, we haven't had a lot of parts. You know, that's taken me all of 10 minutes. Video's a lot shorter, obviously, but that's taken me less than 10 minutes to actually do. But it does complete our nose cone. I will say something as well. It does bring this part together. Before there was a gap and it was movable. It is now solid as a rock, which kind of throws me, really. So what was the point of putting the frame inside this to start with? Because you could have left that plastic frame that's inside this out. Obviously the bottom pushes it up and the pistons here pull it together. So actually there's no, it does look like there's a gap there, but there is no gap there. Not like it was. It doesn't rock, it doesn't move, it's solid, really solid. Also as well, I just want to point out a few things. I think there's an intention to sort of try the wheels at the front. If the magazine doesn't tell you to do it, I really suggest not to do it, because there could be something else that needs to go on here or to enclose it to make this work properly. Also as well, if you are wanting to test it up. Do not test it laying down. Secondly as well, thirdly I should say, I ain't going to use the steering on this. I'm not exactly going to be jumping in this and heading down to the local shops. So in terms of testing the steering, I you know, if it comes to it and it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because like I said, you're not going to jump in this. You're not really going to use the turning on it very often, if at all. It's good that it's a function of it, but I'm just never going to use it ever. I will probably use some of the sound effects, the lights, but the steering, no, I'm never going to use that. So I just want to point out, because I had seen a few people testing the wheels and then finding that bits have snapped off or it isn't working. I'm leaving mine because the magazine's told me not to do it or test it. I've done all the testing, so in theory everything should work when it's comes to be put together, and it works because we tested all the wires. I understand some do break, and that's part of it, but yeah, I think there is an intention now to try and move the wheels. I'm not doing that. One, I just don't want something breaking. We don't know as well if there's other things to go on this. It wouldn't be the first time that we've had to take something off and replace it with something that's either stronger or better. So we don't, this is why you don't test stuff. You don't know whether we may be having to take this off to replace this section because it doesn't work without it. It's not the first time something like that has happened with a build where we've had to take something off that we've put on earlier to make it work, if you know what I mean. So like I said, there is an intention there to move it. Try and resist. I know it's hard, but try and resist. But it's looking all right. It's looking all right. I am still a little bit griped about the pieces that we got. I mean, we just done this section just here. We do get, now let's have a look and see what we get in issue 57. Now subscribers have got up to issue 58, but we can have a look anyway. Now in this one it says the engine panel. So if you want to know where the engine panel sits, it sits on the top, sort of around this area. It's quite far back on the roof section, but it is on the roof section. And all we do on this one, because obviously subscribers have already got theirs, is we push these two bits in there. That's it. In issue 58, because that's 57, in issue 58 we get the roof section with one support. We haven't even put the cockpit in or even attached the back yet, so I don't know Unless we're doing something else in this issue, I believe all we're doing is attaching the exhausts on. So once again, there's not a lot to do in the next couple of issues. It is coming along nicely, which is good. But yeah, it's just I know there's quite a few issues to come. Actually, I'll leave that there. There's quite a few issues to come, and I know it has less parts than other partwork builds that we've had. It's just a little bit frustrating. That's all. It's just a little bit frustrating. I feel some of you are frustrated with it. Yes, stick with it because this thing is going to be a beast. In terms of how far this is going to come out, so it's going to have panels either side, and they're going to come out quite fast. They're going to come out sort of here. So this thing is going to bulk out sort of quite far, much further than these sections just here. So it's going to come out quite far. It's going to be a lot wider than what we've got, and a lot more bulked out. So we are going to get some big panels. I'm pretty much certain that the armor panels that we're going to get are going to be in sections, but they're going to be fairly big. And I understand that's maybe why we've been getting like one wire here and there and these little tiny bits, because once we've done the interior and we've done the back and we've put the wheels on, the outer panels are going to be, once again, fairly straightforward, but really big and heavy. I think they're going to be die cast. I'll be very surprised if they're not all die cast. I think some of them will be and some of them won't be. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that. But there's still a lot of work. Like I said, we've still got the tyres on the back. We've still got the back to we've still got to put the interior in. We still haven't finished the whole interior. We've still got to put in the centre console on the interior, and there's a few other little bits to go in there, I think, still. Plus all the wiring. We've still got to put the motherboard on, which I believe sits underneath it, which means we are going to get another panel that fits underneath this. I think at one side here, or this side, that's where the battery pack's going to sit. So we've got to stick all that in, all the wiring in still. Though we have got the back section, which is just here. And that will, at some point, click onto there. You can see exactly where it sits. Just like that. Once again, we've got the two tyres to go on. We've got the interior to go, and we've got the panels to go. So there's still actually lots to do. It's just that the parts we're getting at the moment are quite small. But we have had some big parts like the jet engine, though it's not. It's quite hollow. It is a big part, and we've had these bulk area walls as well. We've also done the steer. We have done a lot, but I think the frustration comes with what we've done on other car builds, and this is not like any car build done previously, or I don't think will ever be done like this again. Just because it's not based on a traditional car. So I think some people, myself included, I've got to say, even though I know it has less parts than most cars, I still expect a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more maybe. We know we've not built the jet like a proper jet engine, or it's not going to have a proper engine build on this like we do with other cars, so maybe that's why the part count's a little bit low. I've seen some people say they could have done it in 100 issues. I believe they could have, yep. But with rising costs, obviously they're covering themselves, so I understand that. But yeah, it's like I said, the issue that I got, it took less than 10 minutes. It was a couple of pieces, and that has cost me $10.99. But like I said, I know we're going to get parts that are going to cost $10.99 that are going to be a lot more expensive in terms of manufacturing stuff. But yeah, there's still quite a lot to go. We've still got a way to go. We're not at the 60 issue mark yet, because it's I believe it's 120 issues. It does tell you in the magazine, yep, 120 issues. So when we get to the 60 issue mark, we are officially halfway through the build. And that's only in a couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see how far we are at that point. I would expect the halfway mark that we would have the cockpit in and this back section on, and for at least, because we still haven't got the 4 tyres at the back yet, for them to be put on at least. But like I said, it's only 4 issues away, 4 weeks. So yeah. But anyway, look, that is the Tumbler. We've done that bit. I've rambled on for a little bit. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you guys at the next video. Take it easy.